Tonight, an air of sophistication and calm. It's the Aviva Premiership Awards, where the very best players are rewarded for their performances on the field and for their work in the community. For some, they can enjoy a good old night out. For others, they have important matches to prepare for. But you can sit back and relax and take a look behind the scenes right here on Guinness Behind the Badge. The Aviva Premiership is one of the highest profile and most famous rugby tournaments in the world, but it's a long season, it's a dynamic season, exciting season, and of course it's the bedrock of the English game. And the man responsible for making sure that every season is better than the one that went before is Chief Executive Mark McCafferty. That is quite a challenge. Tonight at the awards dinner, is this your one occasion where you can relax a little bit?
Not really. No, we've got a lot of work ahead of us tonight, and there's still obviously a couple of weeks left in terms of the Aviva Premiership Rugby competition itself, so still quite a lot ahead of us. And the great thing is it's bubbling nicely, and it looks as if it's going to come to a really big climax again.
We've seen a sold-out Wembley, we have the London doubleheader, a lot of people watching. How do you judge what a successful season is next year?
The more and more popular it becomes, the more people who watch us, the more successful we become, because that drives value, and it also means that we as a competition and the clubs have to deliver the kind of entertainment and sport that people want to pay to see.
But is the Premiership spreading further and further afield, new people being drawn in?
Yeah, it is, and I think, we're also seeing it spread overseas. I mean, we've had, a lot of interest now. I mean, the final on 26th of May will be shown in 90 countries around the world and available up to 44 million households around the world that could be watching Premiership Rugby on that day. So, the spotlight's really going to be on the competition, and that's a sign of how much it's grown over the last few years.
Well, round 22 of the Aviva Premiership certainly lived up to its billing. In the rarefied atmosphere of the top of the table, positions 1 to 4 didn't change places. They all won. It was as you were. But at the bottom, that's where life got very interesting. And the Newcastle Falcons' dream of scoring enough points and enough tries against Wasps to consign the Londoners to the drop didn't quite materialise. Their future now lies in the hands of the team coming up from the Championship. If that side doesn't match the criteria required for promotion, the Falcons fly again under the new stewardship of Dean Richards. Whatever happens to the men from the North East, though, they've got a good man in charge. Harlequins, along with Northampton, are the best home side in the Aviva Premiership this season. Northampton Saints, they reached their third successive Premiership semi-final, but they've yet to make that big step into the final. Northampton, interestingly, have won 3 of their last 4 away games. Leicester Tigers are in familiar territory and in awesome form. They've reeled off 10 successive victories in all competitions and are not lost at Welford Road since Harlequins were the visitors in October. Defending Aviva Premiership Rugby champions Saracens are participating in their 4th Premiership semi-final and their 3rd in succession. Saracens are already one of just 3 sides to have won away Premiership semi-finals, doing so at Northampton in 2010. Leicester and Saracens have played out the last 2 finals, of course, but they've never clashed before in any semi-finals. Saracens may just have an edge because they've won their last 3 visits to Welford Road, the best run of success at the venue by any English club. So you do get the feeling that the history books might just be left on the shelf for these 2 games. Now, you're up for Director of Rugby of the Year. What would it mean to you if you got that award?
I mean, it would be fantastic on a personal level, but I think any award that actually get here tonight will be just a reward for how well everything's gone for us. We're a pretty tight-knit coaching team. We're a very tight-knit team, and I think any reward for me is more of an indication of how well the team have done and how well my coaching staff have done and how things have gone well for us as a group more than anything else. It's like anything, isn't it? I'll take the accolades when they come because I know I'll get the pressure when that comes as well. But at the same time, I'm not going to undervalue what the group of people I've got around me have done.
Let me welcome you officially to the 2012 Aviva Premiership Awards with the first of tonight's awards, the Aviva Community Player of the Season. Please welcome Big Bob Casey.
Well, Casey, you got the Community Player Award, and you were teased up there, so you were the Mother Teresa of the rugby world. But the work that you're doing is remarkable. How did you get into the charity work?
I'm involved with 3 charities, the Christina Noble Children's Foundation, Goal and Cooperation Ireland, and just through different people I've met people involved with them, and I've been asked to get involved, and rugby players get asked to get involved in a lot of things, but these were 3 causes that were close to my heart, and yeah, I've loved being involved with them. I've been very lucky to go, you know, to Vietnam, to go to Calcutta and see exactly the work they've done, and try to raise the profile and raise as much money as I can for them. You know, sometimes rugby players, you're caught up in this professional world of training and games, and you forget actually sometimes what's going on out there. So for me it was massive, and like, you can't get away. It actually makes you feel good when you have these people. So a lot of it was, I was going out there, I was doing whatever I could, and you know, I was putting smiles on their faces, but they were putting smiles on my faces. So at the end of the day, that was what I got out of it.
Please welcome the Gilbert Golden Boot winner, the man from London Irish with jet boosters in his right foot, Tom Homer.
And the winner of the QBE Director of Rugby of the season is Rob Baxter.
Winner of the Aviva Player of the Season is Chris Robshaw.
A night just to sit back maybe and just absorb what you've achieved this season, and it's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to reflect every now and then, and great awards like this at Aviva, you can do kind of things like that. But of course, it's back to business when we have got a day off tomorrow, and then back to business again on Thursday. And it's the exciting bit. This is why we have kind of 2 months pre-season, and we have half a year of season. You go to places in the rain. It's to play these exciting games and play semi-final rugby. It's been a crazy year. It's been pretty surreal, but like I said, it's been an honour to be involved in it all, but I've got a lot of great players around me, whether that's with England or Harlequins or even the ESPN Dream Team, and the coaches as well, and everyone behind the scenes has really looked after me this season.
Now, Harlequins has a tradition. It's probably one of the most famous rugby clubs in the world. That famous shirt is recognised everywhere. But you can sense there's a change. Harlequins are leaving that tag of the City Slickers well behind. There's a grit to this Harlequins team now.
Yeah, of course, and we never want to forget where we come from, and we always like to think we go out there and play rugby and give the offloads and play the entertaining stuff, but I think we're both sides of that now. I mean, we can kind of use that physical kind of confrontation in the forwards play, and it's about developing that, because that's what good teams do. You look at Leicester in the past, and if they want, they can go to the corner and grind out a try or points, or they can kind of play free-flowing rugby, and it's about having that balance that makes you a good side. So
the Aviva Premiership Awards draw to a close, and huge congratulations to all the winners. But of course, the ultimate prize is still there to be won. The title of Aviva Premiership champions. 4 teams in with a shout. Of course, there can be only one. And we will follow all those sides' progress to the final right here on Guinness Behind the Badge.